Milan operates on velocity. As a global capital of commerce, the city's rhythm is traditionally dictated by rapid transactions, seasonal trends, and a relentless forward momentum. By the late 20th century, navigating the center of this fashion empire meant immersing yourself in a frenetic energy. Consumers moved quickly through dense crowds, absorbing a highly commercialized landscape dominated by the monumental scale of landmarks like the Duomo. But just a couple of miles north, the atmosphere shifted entirely. The area surrounding the neoclassical arch of Porta Garibaldi, the beginning of the ancient Comacina Road, was largely an afterthought. It was a post-industrial transit route filled with warehouses and depots. That neglect provided a blank slate. Away from the commercial pressure of the center, this quiet stretch offered the physical space required for a different kind of retail experiment, one designed around lingering rather than leaving. In 1990, a visionary publisher named Carla Sozzani recognized this potential. She acquired a dilapidated former garage located at number 10 Corso Como. The Sozzani name already carried immense weight. Carla's sister, Franca, steered Vogue Italia into a golden era, working alongside industry titans like Anna Wintour. Carla herself brought a deep editorial expertise to her new physical space. Her idea was to build a living magazine. She translated fashion, art, and lifestyle sections into three-dimensional space: a boutique, gallery, and cafe. Grouping these distinct experiences into a cohesive ecosystem prompted sociologist Francesco Maras to coin a new term, the concept store. 10 Corso Como successfully integrated art, dining, and design into a single footprint, turning the traditional retail space into a cultural curator. Walk through the doors today, and that ecosystem remains fully intact. You will find limited edition designer garments, a world-renowned photography gallery, and an art bookshop occupying the same structure, given equal weight and attention. The environment actively invites you to slow down. Guided by the signature black and white circular motifs of American artist Chris Russ, visitors are naturally drawn into a lush, ivy-draped courtyard that feels insulated from the urban rush. For those wanting to fully inhabit this aesthetic, the complex even houses a microscopic hotel known as 3 Rooms. With only 3 private suites, it scales the curation down to an intimate residential level. This deliberate, highly edited pacing sits in stark contrast to the rest of Milan's retail scene, which often relies on broad inventory and rapid turnover to capture consumer attention. Over 3 decades, the layout and philosophy of 10 Corso Como have barely shifted. By refusing to accelerate its own pace, the space forces the frantic city outside to adapt to its specific rhythm. That gravitational pull eventually reshaped the pavement outside. Drawn by the concept store's success, the surrounding road was cleared of traffic and fully pedestrianized, creating an open-air corridor for locals and travelers. Now, walking the length of Corso Como feels like traversing a timeline. It serves as a literal bridge between the low-slung, historic railing houses of Old Milan and the city's rapidly ascending future. Look toward the northern end of the street, and the landscape gives way to the sweeping glass and steel of Piazza Gaie Aulenti. This is the financial district's modern anchor, defined by towering corporate structures like the Unicredit building. Porta Nuova was designed from the ground up to serve as a global model for eco-sustainable urban planning, prioritizing environmental health over vertical density. To see how that sustainability is actually applied, you only need to look at the Bosco Verticale. These 2 residential towers integrate over 20,000 plants and trees directly into their balconies, creating a high-rise ecosystem right in the middle of the metropolis. Corso Como acts as the vital artery linking these 2 worlds, anchoring Milan's industrial history on one end and its award-winning sustainable skyline on the other. As the light fades, the demographic of the street shifts. The corporate workforce descends from the towers, blending with creatives and tourists to initiate the city's transition into evening. This is the hour of the Milanese aperitivo. It operates as a structured cultural ritual, a dedicated time for professionals to decompress, network, and exchange ideas before dinner. The ritual is highly specific. It requires a bitter, vibrant cocktail, typically a spritz, served alongside curated regional cheeses, cured meats, and savory snacks. The sensory landscape of the street evolves. The quiet appreciation of the morning galleries is replaced by the clinking of ice, the visual density of packed patios, and the hum of overlapping conversations. This shift demonstrates the street's adaptability, as the morning focus on art and design gives way to an evening fueled by continuous social interaction. By midnight, the tables are cleared and the energy spikes one last time. Corso Como undergoes its final daily evolution, opening its doors as Milan's premier destination for late-night clubbing. Venues like the legendary Hollywood Rhythmotic draw an international crowd. They bring a distinct layer of high glamour and celebrity exclusivity to the exact same pavement where people were browsing art books just hours before. This creates a remarkable temporal duality. A space characterized by its quiet, intellectual gallery exhibitions in the morning seamlessly hosts high-decibel, exclusive nightlife by the early hours of the next day. The street manages a rare alignment, allowing commerce, high art, and social connection to coexist on the exact same ground, without any one of them erasing the other.